In an invoice, it's an invoice from Georgia prosecutor Nathan Wade, the latest piece of evidence that the White House is having a hand in Donald Trump's legal woes. Just the News reports the special prosecutor in the Fulton County, Georgia case against former President Donald Trump sent an invoice to the district attorney with charges for meeting with Biden White House officials. The invoice is part of court filings in Georgia's case against a Trump co-defendant, Michael Roman, and recently revealed Nathan Wade and District Attorney Fani Willis have been involved in an affair since January of 2022. The DA's office has reportedly paid Wade over $650,000 in legal fees. The filings allegedly show Wade met on at least one occasion with Biden's White House counsel, apparently in or near Athens, Georgia, May 23rd of 2022. Wade charged $2,000 for that meeting, according to the invoice. There's another charge for at least one more meeting with Biden White House staff on November 18th of 2022, but Just the News reports that Wade's name does not appear on the White House visitors log for that time. Roman's attorney, Ashley Merchant, filed a motion calling for the court to dismiss the criminal charges against her client and for Willis and Wade to be disqualified from office and removed from the case, citing, quote, improper clandestine personal relationship. So let's talk with the president of wallbuilders.com, co-author of the American Story, Victory News contributor Tim Barton. Welcome to Victory News, sir.
It's good to be with you.
All right. A Georgia prosecutor, Nathan Wade, met with Biden staff regarding the case against Trump in Georgia. Allegedly, New York Attorney General Letitia James made several visits to the Biden White House starting in April of 2022 before her trial in Manhattan. So how sophisticated is this Biden White House involvement in these trials against Trump?
Well, sophisticated enough that there's collusion working behind the scenes to try to make something happen. Not sophisticated enough to get away with it, which we can really thank God that some of this is being exposed and truth is coming to light, because it certainly does look like the Biden administration is working with these attorneys in various locations, trying to bring a case against Trump, trying to stop who they believe to be their biggest political opponent. So it certainly seems that the Biden White House is a part of what's going on, is giving advice, counsel, guidance to the attorneys involved. And so collusion certainly does seem to be going on here. There's a lot more to be determined at this point, but it certainly doesn't look good for the Biden administration.
Yeah, justice is blind, right? Jim Jordan has subpoenaed Biden's spy chief for a big tech collusion investigation. Jordan wants Haines to provide details on the censorship of social media that didn't support the Democrats' political actions and positions. What does the First Amendment have to say about this kind of collusion?
Well, the First Amendment is very clear in who it limits. When the First Amendment starts, it says Congress shall make no law, and then it goes through talking about religion and speech and press and assembly and petition. But Congress is the one that's limited. Now, why did that matter? Because Congress was the only one that had power to make a law. So really, the First Amendment is about limiting federal government. The federal government cannot intrude into the individuals or citizens' lives that live in their nation. And so certainly when you see the government working with big tech to limit, to censor, and what we've seen with a lot of these social media platforms they've been in connection with, this is certainly a violation of the principle, the philosophy of the First Amendment. Literally, the very people the First Amendment was supposed to limit and who was supposed to be protecting has been flipped on its head under the Biden administration. So certainly, this is a violation of what the Founding Fathers intended from the First Amendment and the freedom of speech and the freedom of the press.
So we were supposed to be protected, not the federal government protected. Interesting. Right. Tim, it's the Texas National Guard seizing control of Shelby Park and Eagle Pass to stop feds from cutting razor wire, perpetuating the illegal crossings. What does this action by Governor Abbott say to Joe Biden and Secretary Mayorkas?
Well, I appreciate that Governor Abbott is doing what he can where he can. We've seen some moves from Governor Abbott that have been a little tit for tat, where he put up a floating barricade in the Rio Grande, and then Biden administration comes in and says, no, you can't do that. And so there's been some disparity of authority of who can do what. And this is something I think is really a pretty good move, that this is now a state park, or at least a park in the state, that he can then, with executive authority for this crisis management scenario, he can take authority over that, which does prevent the Biden administration anyone from being able to cut fence there or house migrants there. So this is a really good move from Governor Abbott.
Okay, now it's been reported, we're talking about the border, there are Hezbollah super cells inside the United States readying a terrorist action. With our open southern border, are we not inviting them and any other foreign enemy to strike the homeland?
Unquestionably are. When we look at some of the videos, some of the photographs that have come of who is coming across, when you at times have groups of 60, 80, 100 adult age males, all from the same nation. There's one where there was a group of men from Asia, presumably China, who are dressed very similarly, who are all carrying a similar backpack. When you have groups of adult age males who are military age males, all coming from the same country, and the Biden administration is letting them come in and sending them free, that is a major problem for national security. And there's a reason that we should be in prayer and be on guard for what's coming.
Absolutely. And secure that border as well. Tim, thank you so much. Back to you in just a moment.